Hey everyone, and welcome to Bite Size Tactics. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Eliminator squad, some of the best snipers that the Space Marines have to offer. Now, their profile is very basic for Space Marine infantry squads at a 6-inch movement, toughness 4, 3 plus armor save, 2 wounds per model, a 6 plus leadership, and an OC of 1. And the unit consists of a sergeant and 2 other eliminators, and they only come in units of 3, so there's 75 points per unit. The infantry keyword may be important for abilities and stratagems throughout the game, while the grenades keyword is important for the use of the grenade stratagem. And then finally, they have the Phobos keyword, which is important for transports. The Eliminators also have a few abilities as well, starting with the Infiltrator and Stealth Core abilities, and then they also have 2 of their own inbuilt ones as well. The first one being reposition under covering fire. So in your shooting phase, if the sergeant has an instigator bolt carbine, this unit can make a normal move after shooting, but they cannot charge. The other one is mark the target. So if the unit remains stationary, this unit's weapons have the devastating wounds ability until the start of your next movement phase. The Eliminator squad comes equipped with a bolt pistol, close combat weapons, and the bolt sniper rifle. So the bolt pistol and the close combat weapons are not too overly effective against anything other than infantry units. However, the bolt pistol does allow you to be able to shoot in combat, which could be quite useful in some situations. The bolt sniper rifle has the heavy and precision abilities. At strength 5, minus 2 AP and a flat 3 damage, it's not bad against infantry units, but with the precision ability, it can be quite useful when taking out characters embedded into units. So all Eliminators can exchange their bolt sniper rifle with a las fusel, which has the heavy ability, and at a much higher strength of 9, minus 3 AP and d6 damage, this weapon can do quite a lot of damage against some monsters and vehicle units, and that could be quite important in the game. However, the Eliminator Sergeant has access to the Instigator Bolt Carbine instead of any of those other weapons, and this has the precision ability, but it has a lower strength at 4, minus 2 AP and only 2 damage, so it's not quite as good as the others, but it does allow you to use the reposition under covering fire ability. So when going over the Eliminator's weaknesses, we got to look at their durability, and they don't really have too much in their profile, and the only thing keeping them alive most of the time is their stealth ability and being in cover. So you don't want to be caught out in the open, and you definitely don't want to be caught in combat, as they aren't very proficient and will probably just get picked up right off the table. Also, any anti-infantry units that also have devastating wounds can be quite bad and take out the unit rather quickly. This unit also doesn't provide you with a lot of scoring opportunities, possibly early turn 1 if you infiltrate in the right spot and pull the right cards, or if you're going in with a fixed plan, you could possibly put them right in the middle and deploy teleport homer straight away if you wanted to. And even though this unit is quite cheap at only 75 points, I would say it's still somewhat a risky unit to use, especially if you're a beginner and you're only getting your bearings on how you want to play. You could see the Eliminator squad picked up rather quickly in your first few games, so you just got to be aware of your opponent's movement and their threat range. However, one of the strengths is that it is a very cheap unit still, and it can provide a lot of damage, especially if you're looking at taking out characters to soften up those units that would be rather hard to deal with, or possibly taking out some light armored vehicles or monsters that your opponents might have. This unit also gives you some really good early board presence as well with the Infiltrator ability, and you could use them as a bit of a charge screen if you really needed to, especially if you're playing against a very combat efficient army like the World Eaters. Their weapons also have some decent range, so you could also just hang back and then try and snipe some characters or just do some damage to vehicles as well, so you can play a little bit more conservatively if you wanted to. When it comes to how the Eliminators play the mission, it's somewhat up to you as to where this unit's direction is going. So you could equip this unit to either snipe characters out of those units and make them more vulnerable, especially if they had a very strong enhancement that made the army quite good. Or you could equip them to possibly deal some damage to some high toughness enemies for some early damage, and they could also just sit back in your backfield, or if you do infiltrate them up forward, you would still be screening out some deep strike or strategic reserve units coming in. However, if you did have them sitting in your back line, you could just keep them there, and then if you do have those weapons with a 36-inch range, like the las fusel and the bolt sniper rifle, it will give you a lot of opportunities to take out some of your more threatening targets. So there are two leaders that can attach themselves to this squad. The first one being the Captain in Phobos armor. And the Captain in Phobos armor can target this unit with a free battle tactic stratagem once per battle round. And it also has an inbuilt ability that allows you to pick up 3 Adeptus Astartes Phobos units or scout squads and then redeploy them. So this could be just a cheap unit to attach the captain to, so you could use those abilities. And the last one is the Librarian in Phobos armor, which gives the unit a 4+ Feel No Pain against psychic attacks. And it also gives the unit stealth, which it doesn't need, but it gives them lone off. And this is great for their protection and allows you to infiltrate them and possibly avoid being shot at. The Eliminator squad can be quite good for those who enjoy Phobos units and like having them as a thematic role, but they are also quite good at dealing with characters, and characters are also really important in this edition as well. So being able to take them out very quickly and effectively, especially if you have Assassinate as one of your fixed secondary objectives, could make them an important unit for you. They can also be used in most of the detachments in the Space Marine Codex at a very competitive level. There's only one or two that they really don't have a specific purpose or role. However, you could put them in there as a bit of an independent unit. Also, the Eliminators have quite a good synergy with the Librarian in Phobos armor, so if you do enjoy the look of that model and you just want to attach him to a very cheap unit, you could put them in with the Eliminators to give them some more protection. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, click the like button, comment what you think of the Eliminator squad and whether or not you think that they're worth more than just 75 points. And if you enjoyed the content, subscribe for more.